Good morning, everybody. My name is Aya.
And I'm Salah. We are the founders of the Study Creature Initiative.
Starting in the year of 2012, we have dedicated ourselves to this program, collecting and analyzing data from all over the world.
Our mission is to protect the study creature, a unique and endangered species, for as long as possible. Only one remains on the face of planet Earth.
Generally found in the great depths of its bedroom, the study creature has created a habitat, the study corner, where it can spend days studying. Its diet is mostly limited to dried mangoes, coffee, and green tea. As this negative lifestyle may shorten the lifespan of the study creature, our scientists tried to intervene. The results included violent hissing, the use of terms butthead and dodo brain, and clawing with neatly manicured nails.
We encourage you to keep an eye out for the documentary on Discovery Channel.
So here's to the Rory to my Lorelei, the Gatsby to my Nick, and the Dolce to my Gabbana,
The Gus to my Sean, the Kiki to my Gigi, the Minnie to my Bagel,
my best friend,
and the only sister I'd want to be seen with in public.
You know her as either the EIC, Charlene, at Sincerely Boraan, or Boraan Abdulkarim.
Tell me, why does your religion oppress women? In the airport, I people watch. Tourists make final stops to souvenir shops for mugs and magnets they'll never use. Serious, sleek figures tote around black luggage and double-shot espressos with a perpetual forward gaze, as if they will never stop walking. I find an empty seat, prop my legs up on my suitcase, and immerse myself in the calming, descriptive words of Jane Austen. I try to tune out the monotonous announcements on the PA and the chatter of a woman making a currency exchange at the stand behind me. An elderly adult and recent acquaintance sits next to me. For the purpose of this speech and to protect his identity, I'll call him Gregory. Distracted and unable to focus on my book, I glance down at the blue light of his iPad and catch words floating in paragraphs across the screen. Islam, Afghanistan, burqa, veil. A cold silver uneasiness shoots down against my ribcage and disperses above my belly button. I wait for him to say what seems inevitable. 3, 2, 1. He opens his mouth, and the words are let out into the jet fuel-scented air. I can't tell if I willed my prediction into existence or if these are his words. Tell me, why does your religion oppress women? Finding a reaction is slow and dreamlike, an underwater race. His inquiry is harsh and lacks lead-up, but I can't say that I'm surprised. I smile. My shoulders throb and my hands shake. Angry tears rise up, then retreat. It's an all too familiar feeling. I bury it in the place where it always goes. I will not be weak. I keep my face calm and my explanation expository, but one sentence slips out before I explain to this man why my religion does not oppress women. I'm happy to address your question, but I take offense at the word you used. Oppressed, that is. It's not the response he expected. I suppose he wanted an embarrassed, demure reply, with a few awkward pauses in between. Maybe it was rhetorical, in which case I don't understand the twisted effect he wished to impose on me. I ask him to explain to me in what ways I am apparently oppressed. I challenge him to differentiate between religion and culture. I ask and ask and ask, and I don't care if I come off as aggressive, because I never want Gregory to forget that I am not oppressed. Woven into this fabric with which I cover my hair are many associations. Some of them I choose, some of them I cannot control. Some of them are true, and too many of them are false. Not all of them are bad, and not all of them are known. Many approve of the right to wear hijab and withhold judgment towards those who wear it. But do these people know why I choose to wear a veil in public? To summarize, it is a constant reminder to the wearer to be down to earth, dignified, and humble. It is an emphasis on one's own approval, unbiased and self-made decisions, and an authentic, unapologetic platform to live a full life focused on the substantive elements of this world. It is a counter to misogyny. It is It is a counter to misogyny and the objectification of females and emphasizes that my body is not a commodity and not what defines me, and therefore not essential to my public image. If these notions are oppressive, then I wonder at what freedom is. These purposes are anything but outdated and anything but oppressive. Unfortunately, they're just as pertinent today as they were over 1,000 years ago. So long as peer pressure, materialism, and sexism have yet to be resolved, the hijab remains relevant. Hijab doesn't mean that I'm an oppressed woman, but means that I refuse to be seen or treated as an object. It means that nobody owns the rights to my body but me, which in my opinion is feminism in its truest form. Hijab doesn't mean that I am denied the experience of fashion, but that I wear things that are tasteful, inspired, and expressive instead of things that are flattering for consumption's sake, which in my opinion is style in its purest form. Hijab doesn't mean that I hate or fear men, but that I will only settle for someone who has proven first to love me for my sense of humor, for my passions, for my writing, for my art, for what's in my heart and in my mind, not what's on my head or on my chest. This, in my opinion, is love in its truest form. Hijab doesn't mean that I think I'm ugly or have anything shameful to hide, but that I'm not waiting on anyone else's approval of my beauty and refuse to accommodate ephemeral beauty standards at the price of my self-confidence. The hijab is no one's choice but my own. I could pull it down onto my shoulders at any given moment, end of story. No parent, no person at all, has ever advised me to wear it. The Quran gives general dressing guidelines for both men and women, but ultimately, how and whether different individuals and cultures choose to interpret these guidelines varies. Because the purpose of the hijab is so personal, anyone who forces another person to wear a hijab or dress modestly is only fooling his or herself. The hijab is an emblem of empowerment and of personal choice, and to force it on others is to misunderstand and dishonor it and overlook the purpose entirely. When I decided to wear the hijab in the summer before 9th grade, I'd rolled the idea around my head for years and developed a deep-rooted adoration and respect towards the idea of the hijab. I had decided what guidelines I wanted to set for myself and developed a plan on how to make it an easy transition. I challenged my decision over and over again, and my answer was to continue with it. When I walked into the familiar doors of Davern in a pink pashmina headscarf for 9th grade orientation, I knew this is what I want. I was at the time the only girl in high school wearing a hijab. Admittedly, I felt awkward at the start, but I became so comfortable in it that it felt like a second skin. Most of my classmates didn't ever verbally acknowledge the change, and the few who asked were very respectful and encouraging. Once that transition had happened, I could finally enjoy the self-confidence that my statement offered me, the reasons I had decided to wear it. It is certainly not always easy to wear the hijab. But the way I see it, if I removed it or allowed racism to limit my academic or career ambitions in the future, I've allowed myself to be defeated by the same people who don't want to see me in a position of accomplishment. When I come home after a long day and unravel my hijab in front of the mirror, I see myself transform into someone who looks more stereotypically normal and therefore smart, beautiful, fashionable, sociable, and competent. However, when I go about my daily business, I am the girl in the mirror to myself, and the menacing looks or disapproving head shakes that I get from strangers remind me that, unfortunately, society just may never accept that I can be smart, beautiful, fashionable, sociable, or competent unless they see that girl in the mirror. And I don't care. The whole point of wearing the hijab is that I'm unfazed by what society thinks, and I put my well-being first. If it takes a few moments of cognitive dissonance to link an image of a girl in a hijab with all the actions that define me, so be it. I have enough faith in society that a woman can get far in this world without an expensive hairstyle and bare legs. I will never back down from the things I'm good at just because it's not expected of someone who wears the hijab. If I'm the only hijab on the tennis court, in the taekwondo studio, at the journalism convention, in the classroom, in my workplace, I don't care. I wear it for me and nobody else. I'm not perfect. I have my moments of frustration, of lost hope, of weakness and irresolution and hypocrisy and confusion. If you want to find the perfect example of a Muslim woman wearing a hijab, you search in vain, because inherently we are all human, and no human is always humble, confident, or empowered. However, I'm not oppressed. This summer, after an evening spent eating overpriced ice cream and spinning and screaming in metal rides at the county fair, A group of my Muslim friends and I walked with my younger brother to the car where our parents were waiting. Our minds were clear, and residual adrenaline made us chatty. Out of the windows, a man came closer and closer to my brother, making all of us quiet and visibly uncomfortable. I could visualize all our names in a tragic headline the next day, and I thought, this is it. 3, 2, 1. As I made my way towards my brother, the man leaned over him and spoke. Do they still have to wear that in America? My brother was terrified and shocked and couldn't respond. I went to him and held his hand protectively. The friend to my right, a beautiful, spunky, freckle-faced spirit, responded, actually, sir, we choose to wear this, and the beauty of America is that we have the right to wear it. She asked why he would speak so clearly the youngest person in the group, and his response was suddenly timid and apologetic. He said he didn't expect us to speak English. He said he didn't expect us to speak English. The smug audacity he possessed a minute ago had melted. He was a different person. He apologized profusely and sprinted backwards, then turned away and walked in the other direction. Unlike this man from the fair, Gregory had my respect for one reason. He did not ask Google or a world religions major or my little brother about something that concerns me. If someone really wishes to empower Muslim women, then my advice to that person is to show respect and, with a sincere desire to know, not accuse, ask the woman in question. We're all perfectly capable of speaking for ourselves, and our answers may be surprising. As a Syrian, American, Muslim woman, my title would paint me as today's poster girl for oppression. But I stand here today and every day as a testament to the utter illogicality and falseness of that notion. I'm not a scar-faced girl with sad eyes on the cover of National Geographic. My hijab and my religion are sources of empowerment in my life, and ironically, the only oppression I experience comes from the people who think I'm in need of liberation. I need nobody's permission but my own to thrive. I am Boraan Abdulkarim. I fear vastness, permutations, and the things that I love. I love clear nights, gentle hands, and beautiful words. I read, paint, laugh, work hard, think deeply, and speak my mind. I am happy. I am free. I'm a proud American, and no, I don't have to wear my hijab, but no, I won't allow an idea so magnificent to be misunderstood as oppressive. Today, I forgive Gregory and that man from the fair, and every character from every unpleasant anecdote of the last 4 years of my life. Brisk wind, enter this window freely and carry with you all that used to lurk within. Today, I celebrate all those with the minds of children, those with authentic hearts who think independently, who see in other people not figures or faces, but the essence of what makes a fellow human. I was taught and reminded on a daily basis of the very best of humanity from my mother, the epitome of strength. Mama, you taught me to keep my chin up without ever looking down on others. You're the ruler of an imaginary land where tears are forbidden and the currency is perseverance. Mama, you deserve to sleep on a butterfly's wing. As I've told you since I first learned to speak, I love you ad al-bahru samkatuhu, as wide and as deep as the sea and all its fish, and to you I dedicate this speech in its entirety.